Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to the Jump Dash Building Challenge series. For whatever reason, I let you guys vote on the block choices for this level, and let me tell you, it's not good. It's just not good, dude. How am I gonna use these? In honor of Lit Fuse and the rainbow blocks in that level, I'm gonna be using a Coca-Cola song on a 169-second start offset, something like that. Yeah, perfect. I'm allowed gameplay, but anything I use must be invisible unless it's an orb or a portal. Or a pad, I guess. If you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, stay tuned for more. Helps me out a lot. Thank you! Probably gonna make this something like 5-star difficulty, just because I don't want to make demon gameplay if it's just gonna be all rainbow blocks as decoration. I just can't do that. This is gonna be my worst nightmare. Just adding some simple flowy gameplay, also using a blue orb to kind of flip the gravity there. Something that's gonna give me a lot of background visibility and stuff like that. Just double check this in normal mode just to see if everything's on screen. This should be the smoothest layout I've ever made, because it's a 5-star, it's super easy, it has a couple of portals that kind of fling you around. This is cool. I actually really like this. It's very signposted. Without any gameplay indicators like jump arrows or whatever. I'm not even allowed those. I'm only allowed music notes. I feel like there's a slight bridge there, so I'm gonna add a little block here and then just a few portals to take us forward. Now, how am I gonna achieve this? I don't know. I guess we gotta go for something dark with bright colors if I'm gonna be using rainbow blocks. Rainbow block. We're gonna scale this up. This seems fine. 23 times scale. Oh, that's actually huge. Dude, look at the difference. I can kind of filter out some of the color in this and make it go. Yeah, super cool colors here. We're gonna have this huge rainbow block in the very back on group number 2, which is gonna lock to the x-axis. After I set up 1 to be 0 opacity, of course, we can actually move this towards the player, like right here. Just lock it immediately. This can also be invisible at the start and then fade on right here as the song is fading in. Yeah, that looks like it's going to cover the screen pretty well. So, the next step is to actually change this away from 1 opacity and put it on 0.05 or 6 or 7 or 8. I'm going to do 0.08. I'm going to take this object that you can barely see anymore. I'm going to put it on group number 3 and then copy it, go to group number 4. And we're going to continue this all the way to group 22. And my reasoning there is that we will have 20 blocks of this same 8% opacity that we can do some opacity tricks with and make a pretty colorful and trippy background. All right, here we go. 22. How visible is this? Not very. So I'm gonna go back to the slider and I'm gonna crank it up. This seems fine. Then I'm gonna start adding rotations at the very beginning of the level, starting with 3 on its own axis. It's gonna rotate around itself. 0 will do that to you. Give this something like 20 seconds. We can have it on ease out, maximum rate. And what do I want to start off with? I'm not gonna use this 360 box. I'm gonna use this degree box. So I can just ramp it up in intervals of 100. So 4 is going to be 200, etc., etc. I'm actually going to make my process a lot easier, which is going to change it slightly, but I'm going to make it minus, so I don't have to backspace everything. This is ultimate lazy creating, but it's okay. It's going to achieve the same result, just backwards. I'm just hoping that with enough blocks and a low enough opacity, we can have a trippy background here. I'm working on it. We're up to 1500 on the negative rotation. And in normal mode, I don't like the color of it. That's so awkward. Okay, we might be able to save this. Oh god, colorblind creator tries to make colors. Here we go. Okay, this might be the one, because look, I've managed to get it black on the inside by making it purple. So hopefully I should have a little void in the center of the screen. Yep, this is working all right. And what happens if we increase and decrease the opacity? Let me just have a really long fade time going up and down so I can test that. You may be wondering, why isn't this on Wulzy VODs, by the way? And the reasoning is because I have a cough. I'm just trying to show actual testing processes in the video instead of just leaving that to the VODs, because I don't want to have to mute every time I cough and stuff. Wait, that's cool. It makes a star. All right, so we have a 0.5 fade time up to full and then back down to 25% afterwards. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. I don't know what to do. There's so many possibilities. Let me take a pulse trigger for color channel number 1. Did I make it? Yes. It can go to its opposite hue. 5 and 10. Is this going to make it gray? Probably. Yep, there's the green coming back. Oh boy. If you're confused at this point, pulsing to a specific hue actually shifts the color to gray in between the base color and the target color in the pulse. So instead of hue pulsing, I decided to shift to red. Oh! And the star appears! I'm so lucky. Dude, I'm so lucky. I found such an amazing color scheme already. Okay, so all we have to do is populate it with a couple of blocks. And I know just the thing, kind of a cop-out, but there's nothing that said that I couldn't just set some of these blocks to black like so and scale them up and call it the block design. We could put this on B4 as well because the background is on B4 and blending. We can make a structure like this. Yeah, that has a black base. Awesome. And then what we could do, honestly, is go row by row. For example, this one, enable scale hacks, and then we can scale it up more and more towards the bottom so we have like a pyramid shape. I mean, that could be some structuring. I don't know. If we could figure that out, it would be so cool. But I do want to have some low opacity versions of these blocks on top. So I'm wondering if, again, we can copy paste, go to the next editor layer, go to the next Z order up, or maybe just B3, because I do want to use maybe a white blending and set this to the low opacity 2, and then use absolute scaling, which is basically going to scale these on their own axis like so. So yeah, we have a little base here. That's not actually that bad. Would it be better if these were on the original color channel? I'm trying to get my colors right here. I can't tell. Simple plan. We remove these from group number 2 and we give them... Ooh! Hold on. Yeah, this is going to work exactly as I planned. All right, so we give them groups row by row. We can set these opacities group by group right here at the very beginning, and then have it as an effect where 24 will first go to full opacity and then back down. Yeah, like that. Then we can have 25. Then we can have 26. And then we can have 27. Yeah, why not? I do think that is cool. I'm going to be very lazy and not spawn loop this. So it's just constantly rippling down like that. We can have rotations for, say, 24, 0 seconds, 90 degrees, spawn triggered, multi-triggered.
I then spent a little while setting up 3 groups of triggers that spawn themselves in a loop, all under group 28, which initiates every set of spawn loops that I created. This saves me from copy-pasting a bunch. Don't worry if you never understand spawn loops, it's really not that important.
And we can copy this again just to show the process one more time. We up the group to 31, we make it target 31, and then we change the trigger to 31. And then we change the delay to maybe 0.4 this time. Just making sure that the rotation is locked to 26, the next group. If I just go through without follow player enabled, you can see that these blocks are spinning at different speeds now, and then it's giving them different overlaps, right? It looks cool. Dude, why does it look like the imposter? We have a block. We're making progress. So I can probably take these bases and these blocks that I've created. I'm going to start to adapt some of the structures to match this. I've just realized that with spike blocks, I'm only allowed to use bushes! I'm only allowed to use bushes! Why? I can't even put glow behind this orb. Okay, I'm wondering now how well I can make a base block, because we can maybe box meta this. And if you don't know what box meta is, let me tell you. Basically, when you make one cube design and then you use structural finesse to pull off copy-pasted designs. So we have this right here, and then we can probably just make... I just made a structure by overlaying those. Hold on. Is this gonna work? Okay, this is neat, because now I've just figured out a use for the bush. Yep, I've done it. I've actually done it. I've actually done it. I've actually done it. I've actually done it. Wait, let me check the hitboxes real quick. Yeah, that's fine. And then instead of spike blocks, I can flip this object and place it in here, provided that the hitboxes allow me to do so. Yep, I have actually cracked the code. So I can remove these blocks and then snap this in right here. I'm actually making progress. We've actually nailed this so far, I'm not gonna lie. We've done pretty well. We're under 500 objects too. Yeah, the bush is actually working, I gotta say. I just realized that this probably means that I can copy the value of the bushes and then start scaling them up with scale hack. Oh, this changes the game. More hopeful than I could have ever imagined after seeing the results of the polls and crying. I can probably try just using the block on the inside as a little pillar deco. If I make it 24, 25, you know, the different rotations. Nice. We can maybe set up another structure where we just box meted and hoped for the best, because that paid off very much so. Change a few groups and we do a little tampering, and then that earns me a bush object. Oh, we can just copy paste this downwards. Yep, this is going to be a lot of structure improvisation right now. I could just ride through all of these blocks right now and just fill them all in. I don't need to worry about the bushes because I know they're always going to be behind whatever I place, because there's a base block behind. This is the weirdest thing I've made in a while, just because of the ridiculous limitations. Look how well it connects. Wait, hold on. Let me take the inside pieces and make them on 27 instead of 24, so this links up. I'm a genius! I'm a genius! Also, what would happen if I put a couple of rotating objects around the orbs? Also, I'm considering just putting these on the orbs as well. See how that looks? It's a pattern for sure. It's a weird one. I don't know if I like it. We could always set the hue of these objects to 180. So the orb has a different... Yeah. That's cool. And we can kind of scale these down and put them on the pads too. By the way, have any of you noticed that I get extremely distracted from a process when I'm building? Like, I was just structuring and now all of a sudden I'm like putting patterns on orbs and sometimes with projects like these, I just have to keep dotting my focus around. It looks like a glitch. I really like that. Wait, this is cool. This is actually really cool. I'm happy with this. Oh, that looks so good. I mean, if there's bushes that are kind of ambiguous, I could definitely just raise them in their color because there's no harm. It's like signposting with arrows without the arrows. It's just like, yep, you don't want to go here. You don't want to go here. You don't want to go here. Instead of like, yeah, you need to jump here. Yeah, this looks good. It looks better like this with just a couple that are very obvious. Yeah, this is fine. On that note, I think I'm done with this pod. I don't want to use too many of the objects that I have available. Otherwise, it's going to get extremely dry. Like, these objects are all ridiculous. I can't use all of them in one pod. Otherwise, there's going to be no longevity for this level whatsoever. I'm pretty happy with what I've got, though. This is decent. If I can figure out some sort of transition here, maybe with a giant rainbow block that's just black and fades in and out like a black screen, you know, I could work it out that way. I want to do something original, though. And, yeah, I'm going to end the episode here so I can kind of think about that and go forward. I got to be honest, I panicked when I saw the poll, but I'm not panicking anymore because I've pulled this together pretty easily. I got to say, this is only a... Oh, it's a 1 hour recording. Oh, it's not that bad. What are we going to call this? I'm going to call this like Choosy. Wulzy Choose Block. Kind of like Dorobe had Dorobe Choose Way. But thank you so much for watching this Geometry Dash building video. Check the links in the description. Leave a like and subscribe and have a good day.